This video is about configuring intermediate system to intermediate system ISIS routing protocol in Commando Marshall C3500 routing switches. So intermediate system to intermediate system ISIS is a link state routing protocol that uses shortest path first algorithm for routing algorithm to calculate the route. It is actually very similar to OSPF. It uses hello protocol to find the neighboring nodes and use a propagation protocol to send the link advertisement. ISIS can operate a different subnet including broadcast LAN, WAN and point-to-point links. So how to configure? So we have taken a Commando C3500 routing switch, and you can see with show run very minimal configuration is there. So we will start configuring ISIS on this. So for that, firstly we'll configure terminal interface VLAN 1, and I want to have the IP address 192.168.0.1/24, and in this interface I will say router IP router ISIS. I have connected ETH one of my interface ETH-0-9 to the ISIS top brand enabled top brand router. So in this I will give firstly no switch port, and then give the IP address 192.168.1.2/24 and say IP router ISIS. I will also create a loopback interface. Let us say int loopback 0, and I will give the IP address 192.1.1.2/32 and say IP router ISIS. So this is a very simple and straightforward way of configuration of ISIS in the interfaces. After that, you have to go to the process of ISIS by the command router ISIS and say net 10.000.000.00002.00. This net is a network entity title, indicates the network layer information of the ISIS itself, excluding the transport layer information, which is SEL equal to 0. It can be regarded as a special kind of NSAP, that is the NSAP address whose SEL is 0. Therefore net is the same length of NSAP with a maximum 20 bytes and minimum 8 bytes. So this way we are configuring this, and give the command show IP route. Previously there are no route, so now you can see the route learned by ISIS. This is a very simple, straightforward method to configure ISIS in your network. So we can also see the show CLNS neighbors to see the neighbors and their uptimes, hold time, SNPAs and all. We can also see the show IP ISIS route. To see the learn ISIS route, we can also see show CLNS neighbors also. So the neighbor information will be shown. We can also see the Verberos database. So this is a database. This way it is been learned. So ISIS basically are having ISIS area, L1 level 1 and level 2 and level 2 routers. So ISIS area is a two-level structure. In order to support a large-scale routing network, ISIS adopts a two-level hierarchical structure in the routing domain. A large routing domain is divided into one or more areas. Routes in the area are managed by level 1 routers and inter-area routes are managed by level 2 routers. Level 1 and level 2 routers is responsible for intra-area routing. It only establishes a neighbor relationship with the level 1 and level 1 2 routers in the same area and maintains a level 1 LSDB. The level 1 router contains the routing information of the area. The packet is forwarded to the nearest level 1 2 router. Level 2 router. Level 2 router is responsible for inter-area routing. It can establish a neighbor relationship with the level 2 and level 1 2 router in the same area or the other area and maintain level 2 LSDB. The LSDB contains inter-area routing information. All level 2 router and level 1 2 router from the backbone network in the routing domain and are responsible for communication between the different areas. The level 2 routers in the routing domain must be physically contiguous to ensure continuity of the backbone network. Only level 2 routers can exchange data packets or routing information with the router inside the routing domain. Level 1 and 2 router belonging to level 1 and level 2 are called as level 1 2 router. They can establish level 1 neighbor relationship with level 1 and level 1 2 router in the same area or with the level 1 router in the same area or with the other areas level 2 and level 1 2 routers. From a level 2 network relationship, level 1 routers must pass through a level 1 2 router to connect to the other areas. Level 1 2 router maintains two LSDBs. The level 1 LSDB is used for intra-area routing and level 2 LSDB is used for inter-area routing. So ISIS accept lifetime command is used to specify the time period during which the authentication on a key chain is received is valid or not. So you can make a key and you can apply that key for ISIS authentication. So for that, configure terminal, key chain and give the name commando and key 1 accept. You can have the accept lifetime and you can define the time start and end. Let us say I want to have from 10:00:00:0:0 this is the time March, then March 10th 2023 to 10:00:00:00 March 2023. So this way I have created accept lifetime key and I can enable it for the interfaces also. We can also have the router is and we can also give the name word. Let us say I want to give commando or any name which I can give. This supports only under the same VRFs, one ISIS under same VRF. So I can have router is and can give the address family IPv4 or IPv6. IPv6 let us say unicast. So this way I have defined the IPv6 address family. We can also have the adjacency check command to configure the policy of the adjacency based on the protocol related to TLVs in the hello packets. So we can check the adjacency with the protocol related to TLV, including protocol supported TLV or IP interface address TLV by default. So in this adjacency check, We can also have the area password. So this area password to authenticate the password for level 1 area and set the authentication on level 1 SNP PDUs. This command enables the authentication when receiving and sending LSPs and SNP PDUs in level 1 areas. Area passwords must be same for all the routers in the same area. If I give this command, our adjacency will be lost. If I don't configure on other, so word I will give, let us say commando @123. So if I say yes, the adjacency will be lost. So this is a password for that area. We can also have the authentication keychain which we have created. So for that authentication keychain, commando level 1. So this way we can have authentication mode is to be set to MD5 or the text. So this firstly we have to do. For that we have to give authentication mode MD5 level 1, and then we can give that command. We can have the send only or receive only. We can have the BFD interfaces. So for that BFD which enables the bidirectional forwarding detection feature on the interface enabled with the ECC instances. So BFD all interfaces we can give. We can also have the default information originate to originate the reachability information to the default destination into LSPs. So default information originate. We can also set the distance. By default distance is administrative 115 for the ISIS. We can set to another distance. We can also have the domain password to set the authentication password for the level 2 domains, and optionally the authentication password on the level 2 SNP PDUs. So we can have the domain password and say commando as my password. We can have IPv4 or IPv6 router ECs in the interfaces also. So can have the, for let us say ETH-0-1, we can have IPv6 router is for if I give the IP address to that, it will be no switch port, and then this will work. So I can have IPv4 also. So for IPv4 I have to give the command IP router ISIS, and for IPv6 I have to give IPv6 router ISIS. We can also configure the ISIS CSNP interval to set the complete sequence number PDU CSNP interval in seconds. So configuring this command changes the interval between the two consecutive CSNP transmission. By default CSNP is set every 10 seconds only by the LAN DIS. This parameter is only valid on the broadcast interface, since the periodic CSNP is only set on the broadcast interface, while CSNP on the point-to-point interface set only when adjacency is initiated. Default 10 seconds for level 1 and level 2. We can change it to other. So for that ISIS CSNP interval, let us say I want to make it 20. We can also have the ISIS hello to configure the padding of the hello packets. The pads the hello packet by default to notify neighbors of supported MTU size. So for that ISIS hello padding. We can also set the ISIS hello interval command by this command ISIS hello interval 5 level 1. So this way we can have this hello timer change. We can also have a multiplier also configured. So similarly, hello multiplier, let us say 4. We can also have the ISIS LSP interval command to set the link state packet transmission interval. So for that, ISIS LSP interval 100. We can also set the matrices for the interfaces. The interface default matrices put into the IP reachability information TLVs, IS reachability information TLVs, and IPv6 reachability TLVs in LSPs. The value used for SPF calculation by default use 10 for the matrix value, and the value is applied to both level 1 and level 2 if neither the level 1 or level 2 keywords is configured. It applies to both levels. So I can have this configured ISIS matrice 20. So this will be changed. We can also configure the network types like ISIS network, and we can get this option like point to point. We can also have a lot of other commands which can be configured. We can have the ISIS priority for the interfaces. So various ways we can configure the read transmit interval. Let us say I want to change the default ISIS read transmit interval of 5 seconds to 10 seconds. So ISIS read transmit interval 10. So this way it's very easy to do that. So there are lots of commands which can be discussed and can be done with the ISIS. So we'll wind this video to this level, and thank you for watching the video. Thank you so much.